Black teen saves millionaire from a crash days later. Cops show up at his house with news. What does it cost to save a life when the world sees you as a threat? In the heart of a fractured city, where mistrust festers like an open wound, one act of courage unravels a storm of consequences. Malik Carter, a 17-year-old with dreams bigger than his rundown neighborhood, was no stranger to sidelong glances. His skin, a rich shade of ebony, marked him in ways he couldn't escape, not in school, not on the streets, not even in his own mind sometimes. But on that sweltering July evening, as he walked home from his part-time job at the corner store, fate didn't care about his skin or his struggles. It cared only about his heart. The screech of tires shattered the dusk. A black Mercedes, sleek and out of place in the cracked pavement sprawl of East Side, veered wildly off the road. Malik froze, watching it slam into a lamppost with a sickening crunch. Smoke curled from the hood, and the air filled with the acrid stench of burning rubber. Without thinking, he sprinted toward the wreckage. The driver, a middle-aged man in a tailored suit, slumped against the steering wheel, blood trickling from his temple. Malik's pulse pounded, but his hands moved with purpose. He yanked the door open, unbuckled the man, and dragged him to safety just as flames licked the engine. "You're gonna be okay," Malik whispered, his voice steady despite the chaos. The man groaned, disoriented, his eyes glassy but alive. Sirens wailed in the distance, and a crowd gathered, phones raised like vultures circling. Malik didn't notice the whispers or the pointed stares. He didn't see the woman in the back muttering, "What's he doing?" He only saw a life he could save. Paramedics arrived, and Malik stepped back, his hands shaking but his conscience clear. The man, later identified as Richard Hawthorne, a millionaire real estate mogul, was whisked away. Malik slipped into the crowd, unnoticed, his sneakers scuffing the pavement as he headed home. He didn't expect a thank you. He didn't expect anything. Days later, Malik was shooting hoops in his driveway, the rhythm of the ball a brief escape from the weight of his world. His mom, a nurse working double shifts, had always told him, "Do right, Malik, even when it's hard." He tried. God, he tried. But the world didn't always make it easy. The police cruiser pulled up without warning, its lights off, but its presence loud. Two officers stepped out, their faces unreadable. Malik's stomach twisted. He'd seen this before: cops at a neighbor's door, cuffs gleaming, accusations flying. "Malik Carter?" one asked, his tone clipped. Malik nodded, the basketball still under his arm. "We need to talk about the crash," the officer said. "You're coming with us." The station was cold, sterile, the kind of place that made innocence feel like a lie. Malik sat across from a detective, his hands clasped to keep them from trembling. "Why am I here?" he asked, his voice steady but his heart racing. The detective slid a photo across the tablia, grainy still from a bystander's video. It showed Malik pulling Hawthorne from the car. "This is you, right?" Malik nodded. "People are saying you caused the crash. Said you were seen near the car before it swerved." Malik's breath caught. "I was walking home. I saved him." The detective leaned back, skeptical. Hawthorne's wallet was missing. Expensive watch, too. "You wouldn't know anything about that, would you?" The accusation hit like a punch. Malik's mind raced back to the crash, the chaos, the smoke, the weight of a stranger's life in his hands. He hadn't taken anything. He hadn't even thought about it. But the detective's eyes, the way they lingered on Malik's worn hoodie, told a different story. A familiar one. Days bled into nights. Whispers spread through the neighborhood. "That Carter kid's trouble," they said. "Always knew he'd end up in cuffs." Malik's mom wept, her faith in justice fraying. But Malik refused to break. He replayed the crash in his mind, clinging to the truth. He'd done right. Then, a miracle. Hawthorne, recovered and relentless, stormed into the precinct with a lawyer in tow. "This boy saved my life," he roared, his voice cutting through the station's hum. Security footage from a nearby store had surfaced, showing Malik's every move: his sprint to the car, his struggle to free Hawthorne, his retreat into the crowd. The wallet? Found in the wreckage, untouched. The watch? Still on Hawthorne's wrist. The charges dissolved, but the scars lingered. Malik walked out of the station, the sun harsh on his face. Hawthorne offered him a reward, a check with zeros that made Malik dizzy. He refused it. "I didn't do it for money," he said, his voice quiet but firm. Hawthorne studied him, then nodded. "You're better than most, kid." Back home, Malik sat on his porch, the basketball idol at his feet. The neighborhood hadn't changed the cracks in the pavement, the distrust in the air, but something in him had. He'd faced the world's ugliest assumptions and come out whole. Not because he was fearless, but because he was human. The wooden fence across the street bore a new sign, scrawled in bold marker. Hero or suspect. Truth unfolds. Malik smiled faintly. The world might never see him clearly, but he knew who he was. And that was enough. Thank you for listening. If you find it interesting, please like and subscribe to follow the next stories.